Maybe this will help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get the studio.
Baby.
It's showtime. Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
As Mike would say, same old show, just a new year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But guess what? We still gonna enhance it.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
I'm scared of dating, because what if we don't break up?
Or you could just send them a message and say, man, have you seen I lost my feelings for you?
Damn. Have you ever struggled with the breakup?
I've told some people, like, you know what, I can't do this shit no more.
Great person, but you just not for me.
Someone said, real growth starts when you're tired of your own shit. What we've been talking about, man, just being able to look in the mirror first.
The only toxic relationship I ever had is the one I had with myself. Everyone else was just a reflection of that.
Come on, Jesus.
Golly, what more do you need to say? You attract more opportunities once you are calm, because no one wants to deal with people who lack emotional control.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Maybe This Will Help.
I thought we was mature in 2022. That's my bad.
Hey.
Y'all brothers too fancy for me, man. I don't even know if I should come on here tonight. Y'all some fancy Negroes tonight.
That's your man. That's your man came through with the
It's your man's.
Hey.
Hey, as much as I talk about his brother's hats, man, I'm really considering giving them a shot. A few of them. I was like, all right, man, maybe I'm missing something.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but you know, if I do my hair like Mike, then I ain't gonna be able to put the hat on. So right now, I'm just kind of. We should have an open poll right now, just in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. What y'all think about this? Mike's hair and Errol's hat.
Those
Those are two statements. Those are two
but
statements.
I did both.
When I had my long hair, bro, when I had mine, I already had before.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, it's fresh. You could rock both, bro.
Ain't that something?
Yep.
That's all I got for you. Ain't that something? Gentlemen, man, happy Sunday, man. I feel like I missed y'all for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Man, yeah, we weren't here last Sunday, right?
No.
It was last Sunday, man. Sorry, you guys, but you know, duty calls, life calls, and this is an elective ministry that we do. We know when we have the time, but outside of that, when we're not here, we're living out the things we're talking about. So we thank you guys for rocking with us still. We see all the viewers up there who are watching right now. Prepare yourself, buckle your seatbelts, as they always say, man. Get your favorite snack, tag your favorite friend, and get ready to jump into the comments to participate tonight, because we got some stuff for you, man. But before we do that, we're gonna do what we do every week, and that's check in. So, fellas, let's check in. As Mike is showing off all the gold, tell us about it, Mike.
Right. Look at
Tell us about it.
You can't breathe on the show.
You can't. Nah. Where you get that breath at? Brother? Talk about it, man. What's the deal?
You know, I'm just working through a lot, man. You know, I took some time away to myself to really recenter and realign, if you will, with who I know I am. You know what I mean? I found myself stepping away from the person I feel God has called me to be. I found myself stepping away from the man that I know I want to be and that I know I can be. And, you know, it was just a lot of outside influences that were pulling me and pulling my attention where it shouldn't have been going. You know what I mean? And I had a I won't say a long talk, but I had a good talk with Dub earlier in the week, and he kind of reaffirmed, but really actually shared a lot of good information about, you know, having people around that really have your back, and having a circle and having a community, and you know what I mean, the functions of what that is. And you know what I mean, the whole purpose of utilizing your circle is not just when we want to go, you know, to the bar and get some drinks, or not just when we want to post some fly ass pictures on Instagram. It's like, no, when you in the trenches and you feeling like you all alone, that's the time where, you know, that's the time where you need to call out on the people that you say are your circle. Like, you know, another one of my good brothers, Cars, is being pouring into me as well. Just and you know what I like about my circle? It's not all just, oh, it'll be all right, bro, and yeah, it'll get better. It's like, some stuff is like a swift kick in the ass. Like, no, you need to get you fucking up. Yeah, you are. You fucking up. You need to get it together. You need to, you know what I mean? If you need to apologize, if you need to apologize to yourself, but you need to get your stuff together, center yourself, and keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? I can really appreciate that tough love from the people that I love. I can't accept that kind of stuff from everybody, but when I know the people that are telling me this stuff have good intentions and it's coming from a good place, man, it really helps a lot. Also, I celebrated my 3-year anniversary this past Saturday, so that was good, man, because it almost didn't happen. But you know, God is good, and He'll walk you through some stuff, man. So I'm just grateful for life, grateful for y'all brothers, including my brother Kerry and my circle, and grateful for family. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to 2023, man, for real.
Amen. This was the 3-year anniversary of you letting your hair grow? What was?
Nah, that's 1 year, but other than that, yeah, life is good.
Yeah, all right.
If Kerry was on the show, he would have said the 3-year anniversary of letting your beard grow. Shout out to Kerry.
Wow.
I just could hear him saying that. I could hear him saying it, so you know.
Petty Pendergrass himself, man.
Right.
That's a solid check-in, bro. Dub Central, Indiana Jones, what you got, man?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, boy. All right, so I'll tell y'all where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all want to know something. Yeah. So where I'm at right now, man, I was able to go to Vegas and spend some time with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen her in a little minute. You know what I mean? I talk to her all the time, but I hadn't seen her in a minute, so it was good being able to spend some time with my mom and my uncle and my nephew. You know what I'm saying? And just you know, kind of get away a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even really do much. Got some good eats. You know what I mean? Had a great day today. So it's just I'm in a very, very, very interesting place. Spending time with my mom, and just seeing family, just being around family, you know what I'm saying? And even being around family today, it was just it's one of those warm, welcoming feelings, you know what I'm saying? It feels good. But I'm at a place right now where I'm starting to embrace being more vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Being more vulnerable, being more sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Before I kind of got, you know what I'm saying? Like, you realize you can't open up to everybody, but then on the same token, you cannot change who you are because some people don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, you know what I'm saying, like opening up and being vulnerable and then kind of getting pushed away, you know what I'm saying? Kind of being shamed because I was, you know what I'm saying, being vulnerable, and it wasn't really accepted. So I got back to my tough shell, like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't gonna be accepted, then I really ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I stepped out on the limb to open up and be vulnerable, and you know what I mean, and it wasn't accepted. So whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm shutting this shit back down. But right. I'm understanding now that it don't even matter. It don't even matter about who don't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like, different parts of life, different chambers of life, you have to go through things, you have to experience things. And part of me being open and trying to be a little bit more sensitive about things is allowing me to have a better life because I'm able to just let go a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to just say, hey, you know what, whatever. This is not my fight. This is not my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to just sit up here and just be so rigid all the time. You know what I mean? And it's okay for me to be loving, and it's okay for me to be, you know what I'm saying, a certain way, not just to the people who I'm always loving and caring to, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay to open up to other people, you know what I'm saying? Because God places people in your life for a reason. And I'm starting to see that even more and more, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, you know, before, like I've said before, you know, God told me a while ago, he just said, you know, accept the love from where it comes from, not from you expect it to come from. and I can't get it from where it's coming from if I'm being rigid, because I'm only allowing it to come from where I'm expecting to come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that means that strangers, or that means that other people who I necessarily wouldn't open up to so fast, I have to allow myself to be able to, you know what I'm saying, embrace that. Because I've always been like, no, I ain't fucking with you. If I don't feel it, I don't feel it. Or if I'm not like this or whatever, or if I'm not looking at you in a certain light, I'm not going to open up to you. And he's allowing me to just say like, nah, you don't get to determine, you know what I'm saying, who I want you to open up to, you know? And in addition to that, it's like, telling me, look, you blocking certain things that I really want you to get. You know what I'm saying? You worried about trying to do everything the way you want to do it, and try to be however it is that you want to be, but you blocking things from what I want to do and how I want to do things through you and for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? And that ain't never gonna happen. So I'm just letting y'all know now when I'm saying this sensitive, and you know what I'm saying? I'm saying I ain't kinda, you know what I mean?
You ain't gotta say none of that here.
But seriously, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting to a place right now where I'm just really understanding what matters and who matters. You know what I'm saying? Like what matters and who matters. Sometimes I try keeping people in my life that didn't matter. Sometimes I push people away that mattered. You know what I'm saying? All because I'm just, you know what I'm saying, doing things on my own or how I want it. But I'm really understanding, you know, how to keep my eyes open and see what matters and who matters.
That's good.
Let me ask, can I ask Dub a question real quick?
What's up, bro?
So when you see that you may have gotten rid of somebody that did matter, once you come into that realization, do you go back and say, hey, you know what I mean? I made a mistake. You know what I mean? I realize now that I need you in my life. You know what I mean? And right. Will you come back, or is it one thing, or is it more like, you know, I missed out on that, and see you next lifetime kind of thing?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. For me, I try reaching out. You know what I'm saying? But one of my efforts to try to reach out, it wasn't accepted. You know what I mean? But this is the cool part about it, though. I'm gonna tell you something, though. I can only correct me, right? I tried reaching out to somebody who did some hurtful stuff to me too. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't so much of just both of us intentionally trying to hurt each other, but I reached out to somebody and tried, you know what I'm saying, to do things whatever I can on my part. You know what I mean? And the other person was one of them type of people who don't accept responsibility for their actions. So it made it seem like, oh, you're just the bad guy. It's like, no, first off, I didn't even do nothing wrong to you. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm realizing that you're somebody that I want in my life and I'm trying to reach out and I'm being ignored, so, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. So with that being the case, it's like, I try, you know what I'm saying, to fix whatever it is, try to mend broken things or try to right my wrongs or whatever the case may be. But on the same token, you have to understand that just because you at that point don't mean other people's at that point also. You know what I mean? So you may try to mend things, you may try to fix things, but other people may not be there with you. Or other people may just say, nope, write you off, even if it was their fault.
Right.
Some people still may say, oh, you know what, whatever, I'm still just write you off. And with that, you just got to be comfortable. Got to be cool with it. Like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I did everything on my part. You know what I'm saying? I know my intentions are pure. So it is what it is.
Yeah. These are the kind of conversations that really make you take pause to think about the decisions you're making from day to day, being more present in your relationship, because you recognize how easy it is to lose somebody you care about. And you can't be mad if they don't show you grace. And so you have it makes you as a man think like, okay, let me occupy this space of intentionality so that as I'm interacting with them, I'm not scared to lose them, but I know I don't want to fumble this.
Right.
And you have to be present because you start to realize how easy it is to fumble a great thing in life in general, a great job, a great opportunity, a great woman. Is really easy, man. This society and communities are kind of set up to distract you and keep you distant and disconnected. And so it's easy to fumble a great thing. So I think these are the kind of conversations that make people say, I remind people that you can choose the choice, but you can't choose the consequence. Right. And so choose with the consequence in mind, whatever it is, however you're going to talk to her that day or however you're going to show up to work that day. you know?
That's
Yeah.
really good. Choose with the consequence in mind. Meaning, before I even say this, I have to think about what consequences is going to come from whatever action or whatever statement or whatever I'm about to do. Think about that first before you even do it.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's evidence that you're present. That's evidence that you're not. I was looking at the definition this week. I was doing a video online. I was looking at the definition of reckless. Reckless means to act without consideration or care of the consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just means like you can take a risk and not be reckless, because a risk is calculating the outcomes and the consequences, but to be reckless, and if stuff happens to you as a result of that recklessness, you can't even be mad. You can't even be mad at somebody if they don't forgive you, but you can learn from it and start to operate from a more responsible place yourself and more intentional place in the future.
I always think about that. Consider the consequences before everything. Consider the consequences before you just, respond instead of react. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, like in this particular situation that I'm talking about, man, it's not that I didn't even do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? I just realized the value of people. You know what I mean? And realizing the value of people, even though that other person was wrong and the other person just left without even, figuring out what's going on and even having the decency to have a conversation with me. You know what I mean? Sometimes people get in their feelings and they just, whatever. So with that being the case, it's like one of those things to where I wish things could have played out different. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. I tried to rectify, the situation in whatever way possible. It just wasn't happening. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, I wish. But at the end of the day, can I look at this and say, you know what, I tried? You know what I'm saying? I tried to do my best. Absolutely, I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Can I look at this and if anything was to ever happen, if that person was to pass away, would I be able to say, you know what, I tried? Or if something was to happen to me, you know what I'm saying? Would I be like, you know what, God, hey, you know what I'm saying?
That's good. I like what I'm not even gonna mess her name up. That's Miss Taylor here. I don't know whose friend this is, but Taraha Taylor said that I think when we experience love from God.
You think you wasn't gonna mess her name up, right?
I didn't. That's how you said it. Okay. Taraha said, I think when we experience love from God, we can become a little more centered and postured and comfortable with love. Love is not always easy. Loving someone who doesn't resemble will always be a problem, and you don't owe your space to that person. Loving yourself will always trump being mishandled by others. And I think that I love that what you said there, Ms. Taylor. I think that kind of goes back to kind of what we're saying about how easy it is to fumble a good thing. You could fumble your morals. You could fumble your identity. You can lose yourself in the midst of all these things. And so loving God and loving yourself, I feel like those are great foundations to have set in place and really good at prior to really trying to invest in deeply loving anybody else, even if it's your own children, having those things in place.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, check in, bro. What's up?
Man, I just love hearing y'all brothers talk, man. It's just I'm not gonna say that. There's a lot of good nuggets of wisdom that you guys share when you got the checking in. So I'm just
thank you for clearing that up.
Yes,
yeah. Buddy, see, the Holy Spirit is there if you got to be present, because there was about to be a consequence that I didn't want.
100%.
Man, I'm good, man. Had a good Thanksgiving with the family. I went last Sunday. I went to a Friendsgiving with a new friend that it's a lot of friends here. My friend introduced me to her friend so we could be friends, and she invited me to her Friendsgiving. And when I say, man, their circle was dope AF. I was like, wow, like it was great, man. We played some games, ate some good food. I met some people. They just embraced me, and I blended in. And my homegirl was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I really wasn't around. Like, make sure you were good and stuff. I was like, the people took care of me. And I like being in that community, that kind of love, because it makes me want to go love on other people like that. So that was really good from last week. Work has been good. It's been a lot going on. Man, just I haven't been able to share this news because we kind of been waiting on some legal things. But my cousin did pass away due to a violent crime a few weeks ago, and we haven't been able to talk about it. But now that things are in a place they are, we're actually getting ready to do his homegoing life celebration services this Wednesday. So when I say it was hard as hell, when this all went down, had a great therapy session, kind of got me in a good place, you know. So we've been in this waiting period, but now that things are moving again, got to look at old pictures and, you know, get the obituary set up and all that kind of stuff, man. A lot of different emotions coming up, but, you know, fortunately, you know, like you guys said before we got on the show, you know, what's the use of having soldiers if you don't use them? Fortunately, these two brothers gave me, man, some tools to put in my tool belt for this coming week. So I appreciate Errol. I appreciate Mike. Because I didn't know what I needed or what to ask for, but y'all didn't let that stop you. Y'all said, look, it's almost like you go to somebody's house and like, man, you hungry? Like, I'm hungry, but I don't know what I want. And y'all brothers went in the fridge and just listed off everything y'all had. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man, because I don't know if I'll use it or not, but just the heart that it came from lets me know that I'm loved here, bro. And I appreciate that deeply. Yeah, so that's my check-in, man. I'm in a good place. My heart is heavy and it hurts, but I'm in a good place, and I'm happy to be on this podcast tonight, though, you know, being able to pour out, because the last time I talked to my cousin, he FaceTimed me through Facebook and was talking about how he's watching the podcast. He was watching the episode of us doing the one about the songs, and he sent me a song that we should talk about. But he said, I just love seeing you doing your thing and the way you share and the way you know, you're just doing this for the generation. I mean, dude was extremely prolific, you know what I'm saying, and how he spoke and his wisdom and whatnot. But he just gave me so much praise. Like, cousin, you know I love you, man. Cousin, I just love you, cousin. You know that. Like, me and him grew up in the crib together, shared the bottles, shared, you know, pacifiers, man. You know, our mothers raised us together, you know, 7 months apart. So we've always had that bond. So man, it just feels good to know that I got brothers like y'all, you know what I'm saying, on my side, and other friends on my side to kind of like help me through this season. And I ain't gotta, you know, do that toxic man up thing. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm in a solid place as I sit in these emotions and get ready to share, man. Get ready to share what's authentically coming up. Because like Mike said before the show, you never know who else is going through something similar. So, you know, it takes a lot of courage every week for us to get up on here and share vulnerably and transparently. But we know that it's reaching somebody who doesn't necessarily have that courage yet. And so we're grateful to be able to minister in this vein. So it's my check-in, fellas.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all brothers y'all ready to start the show?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh man. All right, cool. I think I want to start like this. Let's see. I'm gonna bring. What you mean it didn't load? The devil is a lie. Hold on. I'm gonna grab the. All right.
Watch
Give it a
your words.
second. Huh?
Shout out to my boy Reggie. Shout out.
All right, here we go.
Hold up. Shout out to my boy Reggie live real quick. He said he was locked up, but he's back out and he's watching the show again. Glad you out, my brother, and glad you staying tuned, man.
Yo, congratulations on your freedom, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Most def, man. Before I even, you know, jump into the show, like we said again, you guys tag somebody who you know can benefit from this show tonight. Like we always say, grab your best friend and your favorite snack, and make sure you jump into the chat, because we want to definitely share this opportunity with y'all, because it's not only what we say that may help, maybe something you say might help.
Man, that's the truth.
Appreciate you too, the Frosting Cafe. We appreciate the transparency, man. We just hoping that something we say might help.
Yeah, right.
All right, so how about this, fellas? Let's start here. My mom said, my mama told me to tell you, stick with the guy that loves you, not the guy you love, because the guy that loves you will go to the end of the earth for you, but the guy you love will only love you on his terms. She's always said a woman can grow to love someone, but a man either loves you from the start or doesn't. So the dynamic here is stick with the guy that loves you, not the guy you love.
I think it's the other way around, bro. Honestly, I think it's the other way around.
So stick with the guy you love, not the guy that loves you?
No, as far as the woman, stick with the woman that loves you.
Not with the woman you love.
That's
right.
What the post said. That's what it said.
Right.
Oh,
when I'm saying the other way around, I'm talking about because towards the end of the post said, you know what I'm saying, talking about a guy who
put it back up, D.
Put the post back up. Where it says she's always said a woman can grow to love someone, but a man either loves you from the start or doesn't. That's the part that I don't agree with. That's the part I think is opposite.
You don't think men can grow to love someone?
I'm not saying they can't, but you know what I'm saying? I think men can grow to love somebody. That post was basically saying either a man, he's gonna love you, or if he's not going to.
Yeah.
Interesting. Where you at, Mike?
For me, I think a woman or a man can have both. I think that I can have the woman that I love and the woman that loves me. I don't understand why you can't have both of those people in one person. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the situation that I hear being described is that you got this woman that you're single, right? And you got this woman that's hella interested in you, is willing to do everything for you, like, you know, wash your clothes and cook for you and calls you and check on you, into you, right? And then you have this other girl that you like, who doesn't really give you that much energy and doesn't really give you that much, you know, as I think Dub called it. What'd you call it last week, man? You're checking her temperature. She's not really giving you that vibe in return, but you really, really like certain things about her. But this girl is really doing all the things that you like. And so when I look at that situation and I read this post, I'm wondering if you're in a situation like that, do you go with the one that's giving you all that energy, or do you go after the one that you want for a different reason?
That's wild, because I didn't even see it as that. I guess I took it for exactly what it was saying. Stick with the guy that loves you, not the guy you love. But I could definitely see we could roll with it from your standpoint, though, for sure.
You know what my thoughts are with that. You know what I'm saying? Based on answering your question that you just said, Donnie, I think from my thoughts, you know what I'm saying, everybody may, you know, think different, but for my thoughts, I would say go with the person who's going to be best for you. The person who's going to be best for you. Because
hold on. Can you talk a little more? What does that mean?
Okay, so sometimes we may, you know what I'm saying, like in your analogy that you use, a girl that's doing everything that you want versus a girl that you you know what I'm saying, that you are interested in and you're trying to do things, but she's not gravitating to you like that, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes we go after what we think we want, you know what I'm saying, because it may be packaged a certain way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we think we want this, but we're more attracted to the package, whether it be physical, whether it be some attributes that person has. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that person. It may not be packaged right, but you're going after that for a reason, right? But that may not be the best person for you. You know what I'm saying? You may be so stuck on the packaging, you know what I mean, that you are turning away the woman who's the best woman for you because you're so worried about this other packaging.
So I like when you say stuff like that, I like to finish the sentence. And that's what I've been learning to do from one of my good friends. So you said the best person for you, for me to do what? That's the rest of the sentence. And we were talking about being attracted to somebody. Oh, I like, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody who looks like this. You want somebody who looks like this so that she can do what? Right. I want somebody who does it. I want somebody who does this so that what? And so when I think about you saying that's the best person for you to do what? Because couldn't they both be the best person for you if you were doing two different things?
They could. However, sometimes one person is not even good for you. You're just so attracted to the package. You know what I'm saying? So when I say the best person for you, if you're looking at those two women, you say, what? It
might be good for you in a different way, though. I mean, isn't that what because that's a part of the relationship, like that physical component, like that attraction component. Like we want that, so we can't just discount it like it doesn't. It won't. I'm not
saying it. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that doesn't matter, right? What I'm saying is when I say the best person for you, sometimes we choose people that's going to give us a hard life. And sometimes it's based on, you know what I'm saying, your thoughts from this person can be like, oh, they have the potential to do a certain thing, or they look a certain way, or this may be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So we hold on to the potential of what could be, knowing in the long run, that person ain't showed you, you know what I'm saying, that they were even willing to do whatever the potential that you think this person has. So you say what?
I think Mike got a testimony because that brother, when you was talking, that brother was in his own zone, like Lord Jesus. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So when I say the best person for you, sometimes a person can be right up under your nose and doing everything that you need, you know what I'm saying, for you in life, or you know what I'm saying, whatever, and showing you something. And sometimes you just refuse to see it because you know what I'm saying, like your focus could be somewhere else, whether it be on another person, whether it be on another thing, whatever the case may be. So
I've definitely come across that. I've had some women who I felt like would have been good for me to fulfill my purpose. But then I felt like there's some, you know, my eye was on a girl who was going to be really good for me that summer. You know what I'm saying to you? So I had to think about like good for me for what? Like, because I know sometimes that one girl, like, dude, like with her, I'm probably going to have to slow down certain things and really sit into my husbandry. Versus the other girl, like, man, I can definitely have fun with her, and it might burn out quick, but that's what I want right now. And so oftentimes when we find ourselves in this situation, because you know, if the post said, my mom said, if you got to go talk to your mama about it, you already know you at this crossroads. Like you're like, man, I can't make up my mind, Mom. Like this one really loves me, but I love this one. You know what I'm saying to you? A mom got to get involved, or a parent or a guardian has to get involved. That means that it's a close call. And so how do you fellas really approach those close calls? Because I had a conversation with my friend about, you know, what if something better comes along? And they were telling me that, you know, if you let God do the choosing, no one better can come along, because nobody's going to be better than God's choice for you, because God knows what you need. At the same time, you may not like God's choice because a lot of things God does is to develop you and to smooth out some of your rough edges. And so there's that like, am I even qualified to pick who's best for me? Don't know, but you're still gonna have to choose at some point.
Yeah.
So I'll say that it's like, what do you want that person for? You know what I'm saying? Are you looking for that good time right now, or are you looking for, you know what I'm saying, the long run? So before you even get to that point to figure out, you know what I mean, what's the choice, you have to figure out what it is that you want, and then you'll know, you know what I'm saying,
or what you need.
Yeah, but
maybe that's what the post comes in at. Maybe one he wants and one he needs.
Well, but sometimes, and that's the whole thing about even when you look at it, you know what I mean, want versus need. Sometimes you know what you need, but you so stuck on what you want that you don't even care that that's what you need. You want to go for what you want for the time being. So at that point, you have to figure out, you know what I'm saying, now, do I want to go with what I want, or do I want to go with what I need? So it all starts with a choice from you, with you first. You have to decide what part of life will position you in at that present time.
What you got, Mike? I saw you trying to chime in.
Nah, I just feel like it could be the same person. The woman I want and the woman I need can be the same person.
It could be.
But this brother never comes into these crossroads. You just easy pickings for you. Let's all pray to be like Mike.
Right.
That's ideal. But for anybody who has the conflict, wow, like I've had multiple times, it can be a tricky situation, because one of them may not look like the other one looks, and why can't this one who looks this way act like this one who doesn't look that way? And you have to address your ego at some point and be like, listen, at the end of the day, what qualities won't vanish?
There you go.
The Bible says that charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. Praised doesn't necessarily mean married, but it does mean to value highly. You know what I'm saying to you? So I have to start looking at the qualities when I really look at, man, what do I really like and what do I really want, what I really need? Because over time, people are going to change, you know, and, you know, we got some videos coming up that may chime into this a little bit more, but I feel like this was a good opener.
Let me ask you this. So she loves the Lord. So does she.
I think it's unfair that you would even just assume that was a she. I think that's, you need to correct your gender pronouns and neutralities of sexism about the feminist way of taking a selfie. I think that's what you should do. And
that was a great way of getting out of that. This nigga ain't what Kanye response.
I want to know where was the feminist way of
listen. I had to give that brother the Kanye rant real quick. Right. Just I don't believe you. Listen, man. When I have a chance to tell people, women that I've dated or talked to or show them pictures, it's such a wide variety. There's not really a type. You know what I'm saying? To even though I'm the captain of the ankle army, not all of them have the best ankles and whatnot. And so for me, it's never really any telling where I'm going to end up or who I'm going to end up with, because it's a certain energy that I value in this life. And when I meet people with that energy, it really does allow me to bypass a lot of the things that I thought I wanted, because I know I want that above everything else. It's almost like why people buy these raggedy old cars, because they got that engine in it that you can't find no more. Like, yo, that's a big block. Yo, they don't even make those no more. And you got this car. I'll rebuild the shell and the outside and get the seats and upholstery. I'll remake the whole car, but that I need that engine. I'm willing to pay whatever for the engine and the frame, whatever. I'll fix all that later. And sometimes that's how it is when you meet people. Like all the other stuff, like Dr. Miami can handle that. But you got this quality and this energy that is rare where I live, and I need it.
I have a question.
What up, bro?
All right. This is a question. I want y'all to chime in, and I want the audience to chime in.
I'm about to log off.
No, this is a real question. This is a real question. My question is, what is a bad bitch?
See,
Why had no one ever asked that question before? It's good.
Well, I think people don't ask it because I feel like it's a relative question, because your definition of that and my definition of that and everybody else's definition of that may be different. Some people say a girl that got an MBA and got her own house and got her own car and got her own this. To them, that may be that. But to somebody else, it may be only based on looks, or a girl with nice ankles, or, you know what I mean? It could be, it's all relative.
I want to dive into this. So what are some similarities that we see across the board when people say, yo, that's a bad one right there?
Can we agree on nice body?
That's where I was going first. Usually someone with a trending body.
Trending, yeah.
whose body type is trending, because Cosmo says you're fat, but I ain't down with that. Give me a sister. I can't resist her. Red beans and rice didn't miss her. Just want to add that in there real quick. Because skinny was in for a while, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted to be thick, which was disgusting back in the day for certain people. So let's start with that. Let's say mutual people say, a bad one is one that got a banging hourglass figure. What else?
Literally, when I think of bad one, all I can see is, according to society, what bad is just looks. I've never seen anybody say, "Oh, she's bad because she has her master's degree."
So this is all,
I feel like that's a
superficial stuff.
But yeah, I think that the whole bad bitch concept is extremely superficial. Maybe women classify it as something different when they say it about themselves or when they say it about each other.
Women in the chat, can you chime in and please define for us men who are trying to find our way, what is a bad one? Are you a bad one? Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Yes. Now, as they answer that, and if we going off of physical, right? If we're going off of physical trending look, whether it be facial features, whether it be, just the whole package, the hourglass figure, everything else, right? And you hear women, "Oh, I'm a bad bitch, blah blah blah." But if they had to pay for everything, and if they have to put a pound of makeup on, a lace front with baby hair that goes to your eyebrows,
damn,
and then they consider they consider themselves a bad bitch when they do all that.
Hey, maybe her artistry
or maybe,
makes her bad.
Like how they have Build a Bear. Maybe it's just like build a.
Listen. I'll tell you like this. Let's get away from the woman and let's look at something else that does the same thing. When you go to buy a house, they have stagers that come in there and put all kind of furniture and paintings and sculptures up in the house so that you can be really attracted to the house and want to buy it. Once you buy it, they take all that stuff out. And so staging is a part of marketing. And women who do that stuff are really marketing themselves to show you like, yo, this is what I could potentially look like on a day-to-day basis. Is that a bad one?
You know what?
Don't ask
Dub.
So listen, I like that little thing that she have on. I can't even see her face. I can't even.
Belt?
Huh?
The bat belt.
The bat belt. Yeah.
So is she a bad one or no?
I can't say. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know anything. I can't. Only thing I can see is the little bat belt that she just jumps and it gives that jiggle. You know,
you can't define that as a bad one unless you see her face.
Not even so much. I mean, it's like
how much baby hair she got.
No, I don't. Yeah. nigga.
Girls stay rooted. I don't plant my seeds down rooted. Brown skin popping out rooted.
Perfect. All right.
Have the ladies responded?
Yes, they have. Jess and Maya moving. Just me moving. I like that. Just me moving. Just SMA. Listen, seriously, I agree that bad bitch is superficial and most mature women don't classify themselves as such. Tavaria says, I don't use it as an adjective for myself, but I am from a diverse circle. And if I were to hear it in my circle, it's because they're making money involved, looking good and probably educated. It will never be associated primarily with just the figure alone. And PR says bad bitch for men usually equal IG model. For women, could entrepreneurial spirit, well put together, has her shit together, uplifting others. Nice. All right.
That's how I figured. It may be a little bit different for men than it is.
Well, I don't know though.
Wait,
because
Mick Jellin, the devil cries every morning I wake up. Is that bad? Come on, Mick Jellin. You a bad one, Mick Jellin.
Right.
So I don't think like I don't necessarily agree where it says, you know what I'm saying, for women, because I know women who get themselves dressed up and just based on how they look or how they feel like they look, they say, oh, I'm a bad bitch, look at me. Or why wouldn't these dudes want me? I'm a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have anything else going for themselves other than them getting dolled up like that.
They calling those things that are not as though they were. There's an affirmation and they're working towards it.
I don't care.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah,
Like Mike said, it's relative. So in essence, it's so relative that when people say it, doesn't mean anything.
Wow, that's good.
Right.
It means nothing.
That's good.
So is it okay? When she try to say I'm a bad bitch, no, you're not.
Yes, it is okay. Yes, if they're asking you.
So listen, check this out. I knew somebody who. No, I'm not even gonna get into it. Never mind. I ain't gonna
move on. This brother get us booted off the air.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
You don't want to do it, bro?
I don't want to do it.
I'm giving 5 seconds. 5, 4.
Right.
I want to. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Here we go. My man.
Listen, she had a fake butt, and the thighs didn't match. She had fake boobs.
Okay.
She had fake eyes. She had fake hair.
What is that? Oh, contacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fake hair, and just this whole Barbie attitude.
Okay.
But she swore up and down that she was a bad bitch. If you so bad, how come you don't like the way you look regular?
Because bad is not a mentality. It is a look. And she went to, and if what's trending changes, in order for her to maintain that status, she would also have to change her look.
But now, is she still her? After she's changed so much, can she still say, I'm this? Because this is not
sure can. She sure can. She can.
Well, I understand that. You're right. She can't. Anybody can do anything by that notion. But I'm just saying that, like, you're not you're not even the same person anymore. You've got so much add-ons and so much extra stuff.
But what if that's who she is? What if she is just naturally a chameleon and that's just what she does? She switches and changes as her heart desires. No, who says that we have to stay the same and look the same? And who says that it's bad or good to make body alterations. Because society frowns on something, should we not do it?
So look, check this out.
Yeah, we've got into this before, but go ahead, dude.
You know what that remind me of? You see those dudes who inject their muscles, they traps, and they chest, and they be flexing. They have some little bitty tiny forearms, but then they be having these huge biceps and triceps, and they just be walking around like this, flexing it like it's really theirs.
And somebody like it. It's like I see it as this. I see it as a means to an end. If we can't really say nothing about it. If what they've done as far as body alterations is getting them the outcomes that they want, then they've succeeded.
Yeah, but that's not my gripe. That's not my argument. That's
What's
not
your
my
argument.
My argument is you talking this shit like this is you. That's not even you. Like that's a completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like
you got to bring it to the conversation.
Let me see a 12th grade yearbook picture, and that's the person that's really you, not this made up person that you've become.
It's like this, man. This is the part that gets me. Other people, it may be cool for other people, right? It may be fine, but for me, in my thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like you're this super confident, cocky person when you all made up, when you have all these alterations to yourself, when you're not even you, and you're this just like, oh my God, I'm just so this, I'm so that, and I'm just so this, and I'm so that, and all these blah blah blah. But you won't even step outside without all this extra alterations to yourself. So are you really happy within yourself? Like, fine, this is what you needed to get whatever it is that you want to. But stop talking about like this person is actually you when it makes me feel like, once again, other people's opinion may be different, but it makes me feel like you're not even happy with who you are. You're only happy with the made up person that you are.
And Donnie, you're saying they have every right to do that. And
I'm saying that doesn't signify that they don't like themselves or love themselves. I mean, they have a preferred way of seeing themselves.
But do you also agree on the other side that some people get it done because they don't like themselves, don't like the way they look? I don't like how my nose is.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. Some people do body alterations because they don't like the way they look, and some people buy fancy cars because they don't like the way they look. Some people get degrees because they don't like the way they look. They're trying to make themselves attractive to a certain people, and they find out what those people are into, and they try to go get that thing. You know what I'm saying? It could be me growing longer hair so I can get the Filipino girl that I like, or it could be somebody going to just talking about experience from the past.
But that's still you, though. But that's still you.
That's still me according to your standard. If I add anything to my body, if I go to war and I get, amputated and I got a metal leg now, is that me?
Something
if we're gonna expand this conversation, we got to have it outside of the context of only doing body alterations for aesthetic or physical appearance reasons. Sometimes those alterations are medical. They're there for other reasons, just for aesthetic or not, or insurance wouldn't cover them.
Now, for me, I think that's different though. I think it's for a need for something like.
I feel like it should be a part of the conversation at least, though.
No, yeah, it should. You know what I'm saying? It should, but I still feel like those are two different things. Whether like I need surgery or something for something, or if I'm just just.
Let's use the example of a nose job. There's some people, born with a defective nose and they get a nose job and boom, like that's it. So we'll accept that that's who they are because they had a nose that worked but looked gross. And somebody else who has a nose that looks normal, but they feel like it looks gross and they go do something to it. Now that's not who they are. Because the people who have these dysmorphias, sometimes the body works. There's like, that looks like a deformity. And for some people in their own minds and heads, it looks like a deformity. Why did I want to get so big when I was working out in the gym? Because I felt like that doesn't look good on me. But it's all in our heads, honestly.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you like this: what's going through some people's heads is real stupid sometimes. How about that?
Agreed.
I'm just saying that it's real stupid.
For sure.
Oh man, what did PR said? She said sometimes it's a form of body dysmorphia. Sometimes it's like a woman who wears wigs and makeup who just likes it. Is that who she is? If she wears a wig or makeup, is that not who you are?
This is the thing. I'm not talking about people who do things like just want to just change up things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who have this sort of a level of, oh, I'm just this, I'm just that. You know what I'm saying? Like portraying this whole image, but you're not that image until you made up into somebody else. Like when you're yourself, you're not considered that bad bitch or this You know what I'm saying? You don't even want to be, you don't even have the same level of confidence.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You dare to not even let people see you without makeup.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then when you have that makeup, you're a completely different person.
So it's a costume.
Like, it's a costume.
Okay. No, I can understand that. I can understand that because it's like different between Superman and Clark Kent. Even when he's Clark Kent, he's still Superman because the powers are there. He just chooses to hide them under a different kind of look, but that's still always who he is. But if you feel like your power and your identity is in your aesthetics and what you can physically do to yourself, that might be problematic in the world of mental health, because we are more than what meets the eye at the end of the day. And if something happens to where you don't have the money to get that wig, and you don't have the money, you know what I'm saying, to upkeep that, those implants, and you feel like I don't even want to be seen, I can't go out in the world and I can't do my purpose, there's an issue there. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that.
So I seen this and I want to respond to it.
Okay.
You saw that one too?
Yeah. Okay, so dang. Okay, so it says, I think men are sometimes ashamed at the fact that they're attracted to body alterations. Now, let me say this.
Hold on. What does that mean? What do you see in there? Men are
think
ashamed.
men are sometimes ashamed at the fact that they're attracted to body alterations.
Okay. I don't get it, but go ahead.
So this is what I want to say. Sometimes men are attracted to body alterations, and it's not that we're ashamed to say it, right? Sometimes men are attracted to it, but I'm gonna tell you something though. Sometimes those body alterations, women look stupid as fuck, and men aren't attracted to those alterations. Men are attracted to sex. And a lot of times when you have those body alterations, you start to put yourself out there so men know that they're going to get sex more. Men know that they're going to see different body parts again because now they're just put out there. Some body alterations, they definitely look good. Can't say that. For me to sit up here and try to say, you know what I'm saying, all body alterations look horrible. No. That'd be a lie for me to say that, right? So to say like some alterations look good, hands down, some do. Some look stupid as fuck, and they shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
To you, they look that way. They look stupid to you.
Listen, and I've heard several other people say they look dumb as fuck.
But my whole thing is like, if it looks that way, then they shouldn't be able to get anybody, but they still get the people that they want.
But you also have to see what those guys that they're getting, what do they want?
You ever seen a person with a stupid body be married? Yes.
Yeah.
That means that somebody likes it. You know, I'm shape it up, you know, whatever. Somebody out there likes it. Like the ant body. Somebody is into that body. It's a body for everybody.
Listen.
It's a body for everybody.
I think if people start to be more honest, a lot of things wouldn't go down the way that they went down. And I think people say they want honesty, but I don't think people can really handle honesty. Like a lot of times if men say, look, you know what? I was just really, you know what I'm saying, like trying to get at you, you know what I'm saying, because I wanted some. Then eventually over time, you know what I'm saying, I start to not even see all the other stuff, you know what I'm saying, that I would normally dislike because I was already into you from hanging out with you. But initially, I just wanted to hit something.
Okay.
I think what attracts men to all of these body enhancements is more so we like, if we already like asses, we already like breasts, and now this woman comes and make that like the same ass like twice as big. I don't think it's necessarily like the way it looks for the most part. It's more so the idea of, wow, I like ass, but now I get ass on steroids. I gotta see what that's like. I gotta see what that's like.
It reminds me of like the cars they got. What are they called? The donks over in the South. You know what I'm saying? Some people like those look stupid. And some people absolutely love them. How big of a wheel can I get on this vehicle? You know what I'm saying? And for somebody, that is their jam. You know what I'm saying? Some other people are like, yo, that's just way too much. You're doing too much. Like a car comes out of the factory. First thing you want to do is trick it out. And some people see their body the same way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna say it like this, man. I guess it just goes back to, you know, everybody has an opinion, everybody has a choice, everybody has a preference. I'm gonna just say this. People just do whatever the fuck you want to. Fuck it. Do
That's
whatever
what they've
you
been
want to.
doing.
Listen, all I need is my one. You know what I'm saying? Just like we always talk about, bro. It doesn't
Listen,
matter about everybody
all
else.
I need in this life for
All I
sin,
need is my one.
me,
Everybody
my
else can walk
girlfriend.
around look stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? Looking dumb as hell with them long ass eyelashes and bangs. Oh my god, I hate bangs. Yeah.
Dang, was that it?
Oh my god, I hate
And
bangs.
they be on OnlyFans making 10 racks a week.
A
Lord.
week,
You know,
brother.
so somebody, anybody, everybody, listen. I'm gonna get my girlfriend, my wife, and mind my business.
Hey,
We got
Anyway,
time for one more halftime. Let's do it. Let's do halftime. Let's go.
yeah, bro, we are in the building.
Are we making this? Are we doing this announcement? Or what
Yes.
we doing?
Yeah,
What we
come on,
doing?
man,
Yeah.
let's do it. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
man.
dun, 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 dun,
Ladies
dun, dun.
boys and girls. So we've been telling you guys for a long time that we're going to do this this live show, this live event with the host of Maybe This Will Help and you guys, the audience. So what we have decided to do is on December 11th. Mark the calendars, December 11th. Maybe This Will Help the podcast. That's Donovan, Errol, Kerry, and myself will be hosting a live show. Inglewood, California. We'll give you the details once you buy your tickets or get your tickets. That's a good segue. It's a free event. Y'all don't have to pay for nothing. It's a free event. The kicker is, what do we say, 24?
Yep.
24. Donnie, I'll go with you, E. 24?
Yeah,
E?
it's
Cool.
24.
All right. 24 people will be allowed to enter in, and it's going to be basically like we do it right here that you guys are watching now, except it's going to be live. If you're not able to make it or you're not able to get tickets, we're still going to stream it here, so you'll still be able to view the show. So it'll be a regularly scheduled programming. But yeah, so this is going to be December 11th. I believe we said 6 to 8.
I thought we said 5.
So 6 to 8 for the show, 5 to 6 for the mixer. So we're gonna do like a beforehand mixer. You guys can, chat with Donnie, chat with Errol. I don't want to talk to y'all. And then
Trying to make that my 4-year anniversary, huh?
From 6 to 8 though, we'll have the live show. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun event. We'll be sending out the Eventbrite at some point.
So it's first come, first serve?
First come, first serve. Once we drop it, we'll probably drop it on our IG page as well as our Maybe This Will Help page. And I mean, we'll talk about if we want to drop it on individual pages, but I say it's only on our IG and only on our Facebook.
There it is.
There it is. So we'll be dropping that
man.
information.
Man, come on.
We'll be dropping that information. So once you guys see it, hurry up because they're gonna be going quick. Again, it's only 24 spots. We look forward to seeing y'all and really having that interaction and that engagement of being live. This is gonna be actually our very first live show, so it's gonna be something. I have a feeling Errol may wear one of his hats, so you guys gonna want to see that. You guys
definitely gonna want to see that.
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. December 11th, 6 to 8. We're doing a live show. If you want to be there, you need to be following us on Instagram. Not us, like follow Maybe This Will Help the podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Because when we drop it, it's the first 24 people who will get the tickets, and there will not be any more sold at the door. There is no other way to get in the building. First come, first serve.
You can't say, oh, I bought one ticket, but my homegirl wanted to come, so I'm sorry, she's gonna have to wait outside. But you could come in. That's the kind of vibe it's gonna be. So if you got 2 people, 3 people you want to come, buy 3 tickets.
There it is.
Or sign up for 3 tickets, not buy. I'm sorry, it's free event.
And you are all, if you have a body alteration, you are welcome to come. Despite what Errol said earlier, it's fine. We inclusion, diversity.
Well, it's double door. It's double doors.
Antibodies are welcome.
You can keep both doors open if the butt alteration is too large. We got double doors.
Listen, ain't no
Slide
such thing.
through.
Ain't no such thing.
My guy.
But they should buy 2 seats.
This is really not us, y'all. This is not. It is. Never mind. It is. 100%. This is what you're gonna get. So.
Oh man,
you change your mind about coming. I get it.
If you change your mind about coming, it's too late. It's too late, bro. We gonna be in the building, and we hope to see you there.
Is there a drink code?
You know what time it is? It's time to do these donations. Hey, tell Earl to come back. Why Earl leave?
Right.
Why are you ashamed of us, bro? Listen, if it wasn't for these donations, how are we going to afford to do a live event? These people have been faithfully donating, and we had to pay for this venue. We got to pay for so much stuff to get this popping for them.
That's the point that I'm just saying.
It's so ghetto because it's from the phone.
It's
like the old school voicemail. You know what I'm saying? Like your ringtone, your voicemail. Yeah. So maybe.
Listen, this is what it took for us to get to where we are. So I love doing this part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Cash App, maybe this will help the podcast. Cash App, maybe this will help. No? All right. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to make sure that I let you guys know this is important. This is the most important part of the show. All right, we're going to move on. Look. I definitely
just come on.
Dig. See, you know what, man? See, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, because these brothers don't understand the real good quality marketing. That's what I'm doing right now. But anyway, if you want to donate to the cause, you go to our Cash App. Maybe this will help. If you don't have Cash App, go to our email address. Maybe this will help podcast@gmail.com, and we can talk to you about PayPal, Venmo, and everything else. And who was that? Renee, because she came on here. She said she was doing body rolls. This is what it's going to be like at the live show.
It's not.
Because Mike is going to have his debut. All the rest of us have done our part for this generation. Mike with the long hair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready for the second half of the show, just sit there and be quiet. We're about to get into the second half of the show.
Before we do, please, if you still want to, after Donnie made that comment, go like, share. Maybe this will help the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Again, in order to get the info about the live show. What you got?
Portia did my voicemail for me. Hey, you've reached Ankle Man. Please leave me a message after the time. I love it.
Wow. In order to get the info on the live show, you will have to be following us on either our Facebook platform or our IG platform. So make sure you're real quick. You go over there and like, share, and yeah.
And it's not a lingerie party, so don't wear your pajamas.
We wearing ours, so.
Listen, I don't sleep in pajamas, my brother. Let's go ahead and listen. It's healthy. It's healthy. What?
My man Reggie just said he got out of jail. He don't want to hear that, man.
Listen, don't even get me started with those jokes, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let my brother live today, because if
you better say them jokes for February, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't run out of good jokes, bro. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, boy.
All
right. Why y'all keep moving my stuff around?
What?
Where I had the perfect video ready to go, and you brothers just don't seem to like me anymore.
Nah, it's not us. It's StreamYard.
They be deleting stuff?
No, I haven't deleted anything.
All right, because I don't see it, but I'm gonna re-add it, and that's what we're gonna start with right now. That's janky.
This bitch.
Wow. Okay. Y'all ready for the first video?
Let's get it.
Make sure you guys tag somebody to check out the second half of the show. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
When you have a guy friend and he's a great guy, ladies, and you won't date him, do you know what that's like for the guy? It would be like if you went on a job interview, right? And the guy was like, well, Mr. Perkins, this is a great resume. You've got the experience we've been looking for. We love your attitude. You're perfect for this job. And we're not going to hire you. No, we'll probably hire someone who's far less qualified and has a drinking problem. But this is a great resume. Wow. In fact, this is the resume we're going to use to judge all the other candidates. Now, we're not going to hire you ever, but is it okay if we call you every now and then to complain about the guy we do hire? Can we do that?
Bruh.
That's really good.
Did y'all get it? Did you get it?
Yes. Yeah. I've experienced that. Everything that he was just now talking about, even the call you to complain about the other guy. I've experienced it.
Yep.
I just want to play it one more time, man. I really enjoyed it. I think I just want to let this sink in one more time. And we got a special guest coming for y'all.
When you have a guy friend and he's a great guy, ladies, and you won't date him, do you know what that's like for the guy? It would be like if you went on a job interview, right? And the guy was like, well, Mr. Perkins, this is a great resume. You've got the experience we've been looking for. We love your attitude. You're perfect for this job. And we're not going to hire you. No, we'll probably hire someone who's far less qualified and has a drinking problem. But this is a great resume. Wow. In fact, this is the resume we're going to use to judge all the other candidates. Now, we're not going to hire you ever, but is it okay if we call you every now and then to complain about the guy we do hire? Can we do that?
So, Dub, I got a question, man. If you've been in that situation multiple times, why do you think? Why do women do that?
Well, my only explanation is they stupid.
I knew it.
Wow.
No, well,
wow.
I'll tell you what I think, honestly. Sometimes, like, I've had a conversation with someone. And
I actually liked your first answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, and the response was she didn't think she deserved the good man.
Wow.
Cool.
Even with the good qualities that she had, she didn't think she deserved the good man. She felt like she was just so used to the bad guys, and that's all she deserved.
Well, that's good then. That's very good that she didn't try to go to that level with you, because the whole you were required to do in that space.
Yeah.
She saved you. Thank her.
I think I've been on both sides of that coin as well. I've been on the, oh, you're such a good guy, you're such a good this and that, but we're just gonna remain friends while I go and search for exactly who I said that you were. You know what I mean? But I think when I was on the other end of that, I think it was kind of like Dove said, like, yeah, you're great and you're this and you're that, but I'm not ready for that. You know, I still got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I'm not gonna wipe you up or we do.
Appreciate the honesty, Vicky.
Yeah,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But I think that, you know, for me it was, I'm not ready to receive all of this greatness you have to offer. So I'm gonna start with baby steps and look for somebody else, and then maybe work my way up to when I can actually ask you out.
Good
What's
evening,
up, brother?
Good evening.
Good evening. You ever think about sometimes the reason that people don't go the route with you is because they know they got to work for you because of the requirements that come with the kind of man that you are? We are sought after because of the benefits of what you bring to the table. People know that bringing this kind of, this stature of man requires this. It seems as though it requires this nature of work. And that everybody's not always into putting that in, you know what I'm saying, putting that work in.
So we can equate that back to the joke that he was talking about, like a job interview. some companies will see the perfect candidate and not hire them because they know they can't afford them.
Overqualified.
Mm-hmm.
They know they don't. It's not in their budget. They can't afford this person, and they know that if they hire this person and this person does accept this job at this low pay, that they're always going to be looking for higher pay
Because their pay isn't trending.
because they want to be fairly compensated for who they know that they are. Yes, it isn't trending. So this is interesting. Then this is. I wasn't expecting these perspectives from this video, but this is really good. That was a good little nugget you had there.
What's your take?
So here's my take on it. I know that and this is like even a recent situation. I know that I've come across a young lady who thought that I was great and a lot of good qualities. My take on it is that I think that in all that greatness that they're, all these affirmations and stuff and all this praise they're giving, there's still some things they're probably not saying that they real reason why they won't hire you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in one situation, I think that sometimes your past, say your resume could be great, but you do have some things in your past that they don't necessarily want to talk about, but they'll just say, no, we're just not going to hire you. I think it's a lack of just real, like, straightforward honesty. Yeah, you're a great man, and sometimes people just use all that to butter you up for the letdown, but never really let you know why they letting you down.
Do we ever take that answer for face value? Meaning, if the answer was, I just wasn't ready for you, do we ever just sit back and say, hey, maybe you were right, maybe you're not?
I do that often.
And then after we get those answers, because it did say it was a friendship, do we stay in that friendship, or because they don't want to date us, are we automatically out?
So for me, man, friendship is purpose. So if I've been called to be somebody's friend, that means I've been called there to fulfill purpose. Now, if we don't get to go into that romantic space that I want to go into, doesn't mean that I don't have purpose there. So if I evacuate that friendship just because I didn't get the position I wanted, I have to give an account to God for that choice.
Ooh, that's good, sir.
I agree with that. Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say, and in that same aspect, you can also miss out something from yourself. You might be missing out something that you're supposed to be on the receiving end of in that friendship, not necessarily in that relationship.
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like we always say, sometimes we have people in the wrong position. But what I will say is this. Sometimes you don't understand what God has for you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be so focused on you wanting this, but God has something a hell of a lot better for you. And you don't even know it because you're so focused on one thing. You know what I'm saying? So I look back at situations like that, and I'm happy. I'm excited that didn't work.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm excited that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited that person didn't want me. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Sometimes you have to go back and you have to look at stuff and be like, oh, okay, that didn't work for a reason, and whether you know that reason at this time or whether you don't even know the reason yet, whether the reason hadn't even been revealed to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I like what Portia said. She said, I'm guilty, kind of. I was young and my priorities were screwed up. Sometimes it's good that we come across those situations when we do self-reflect or when our friends bring it to our attention, like, yo, that was a solid guy. What are you doing? Sometimes we need those moments to snap us out of whatever trance we're under because of whatever the culture might be pushing or the community is pushing at where we live at. Like, again, me and my friends just the other night were having another passionate conversation about women wanting tall men. Finish the sentence. I want him to be 6'2", so that what? Like, what do you need it for? It's like, well, it just looks better. I just like the way he looks next to me like that. And sometimes because of those priorities, you actually sometimes do end up missing what we would say is the best or God's choice or whatever you want to call it. You end up missing something of great value because there's a priority there that's really misplaced. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. But I think Pookie said it. DTF, where's your comment at? She said
something good.
You can have all the qualities that I desire, but still missing a requirement that I need from a partner. So if anybody doesn't know what it means to have your priorities misplaced, it means that you are putting right here, it says you have all the qualities I desire, but missing the requirements. That means you're putting your desires above your requirements.
And I just want to point out that distinction between a desire and a need. A desire is something you want. A need is something that you have to have. in order to
What
function.
if your need, and I'm just throwing a quick little devil's advocate out. What if a woman's need to feel safe and secure comes from a man that's 6'2" and taller?
Then she should be able to verbalize that.
I mean, I'm just saying, but is that okay once you verbalize it?
Of course.
I thought the little animosity because of your height disadvantage. You know, like my hair disadvantage. Yeah, that's all I got. You normally shoot up my hair. That's all I had.
We understand.
And
we understand. Good job, Kerry. Hold on. Let me give you what you did.
It was mute. It was nothing but God because I couldn't even hear you.
I didn't say anything. But that's a real conversation to have. Some people, what Kerry said is factual. It's not just superficial for them. That goes deeper. Maybe their dad was tall, and that for them equates a certain kind of energy that gives them a peace that 5'7" can't give them. And you can't fault somebody for that. Well, you can, but that's misplaced.
What are you eating?
Peanut butter filled pretzels. Great. All right. Are we done with this one? We moving on?
Yeah, I think I'm good in the comments too.
It got real quiet. Okay, cool. So how about this? Dub, I'm looking for you on this one.
So what do you suggest the women in the West do if everyone's advice is for men in the West to look elsewhere for a wife? What happens to all the women in the West then?
Well, that one study we referenced that said by 2030, 50% of the women will be without a man. So that's the direction we're heading, because the men that are looking for those traditional values are starting to go overseas. And then the other half of the men are just checking out completely. They don't want to deal with women at all. So this is going to be a big issue that women are going to deal with in the future as their options dwindle.
So what do you...
Did you guys get it?
Yes.
I did.
We're talking about the women in the West not upholding traditional values that men are looking for. So men are being told to go overseas to find those traditional values. And the other half of men are just like, you know what? I'm just going to, continue to just, do the call girls and prostitutes because the rest of this stuff is trying to find a wife ain't really worth it.
Yeah, buddy. So
by 2030, they said their options are going to dwindle because of, and I don't think it's necessarily their standard, but it is some of those traditional values.
So
y'all brothers got real quiet. I don't know what's happening.
I'm not qualified to talk about.
So check this out. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just saying I don't feel like I'm qualified to even speak on that. They're doing studies that I ain't never heard of.
None of us are.
No, but I'm saying I don't know what's going on in the West because I'm essentially they're talking about overseas West, right?
No, we're the West.
We're the West.
We're the West. So we're the West. We're the West. And we're talking about like men who, go and do the mail order brides from Russia or to go to the Philippines or to go into Asia where the women are, I guess the culture is more submissive and traditional. That's what Western men, American men, let's just say it that way, are looking for. And we're not finding it here.
So this is what I'll say. This is my thoughts on this, right? I can't speak for every man, right? I can only speak for myself. I have conversations with other men, and sometimes we have similar requests, right? And sometimes those similar requests are a traditional woman, you know what I'm saying, with some traditional values. Sometimes people are holding on to the fact that say we don't live in those same quote unquote traditional times. So I would just say everybody's not looking for the same thing. That's number one. Not everybody is looking for the same thing. And for those guys that are looking for a woman with traditional values, sometimes they're around still. There are some women with traditional values still around. And a lot of times some of these heifers is just raggedy. Some of these heifers is just about money. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad to say that, the whole idea is men want sex, women want money. And that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's put out there right now. That's what's put out there, you know what I'm saying? Like you see on social media a lot of times where, they say all men want is sex and all women want is money. And that's not necessarily the case. But that's what's being magnified right now.
Yep.
You know, you hear people talking about, oh, I got to get this bag, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that, and you see where they values are. I don't think everybody is in the same place right now. You got some men that don't even want a traditional woman. You know what I'm saying? Because some men are just like, oh, well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this. I'm doing whatever I got to do. So I don't know. I think it's just all jacked up right now. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that part. I think that a lot of people are hurting and they're responding to hurt. I think that over time, what we've recognized, you know, if we go back a few years, you know, women being objectified greatly through music and men using women or trying to, you know, objectify them for different things, that provoked something inside of the woman's culture. And that traditional place that they were used to being in was being abused. This is from a conversation with my female friends, that they were like, you know, we don't even want these Western men because they're objectifying us. And so we're going to just go for ourselves. And that's where you see a lot of women turning to other women anyway, or just going about their business. And that's why you have this, you know, this flux of all these women who are professionals and they're doing their thing and whatnot. But we can't just act like, oh, they just decided they didn't want to have traditional values. We got to look at the role that we as men might have played in pushing them away from that place. It's not a safe space.
Yeah, that sounds good, but these heifers still could have, you know, I don't care who you run into. Like, who you are is who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you change so easily because you run into some bad seeds, there's a lot of bad seeds out there. That don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, you can't, that don't mean that somebody can say, oh, well, I'm just going to change completely because these men are like this. The men that you've ran into are like that. That don't mean every man is like that. You know what I'm saying? And whether they try to say we push them away, you know what I'm saying, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck on then. You know what I'm saying? If we pushed y'all away, get the fuck on, because we don't want you anyway. If you know what I'm saying, just go and flip and change. Just because a woman has to go and earn a living because she may not have that man, don't mean that her whole values towards men will change. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
I agree with what you're saying to a certain degree, because I think there should be a little bit more compassion there, because there are some things that you didn't do, but that men did that just weren't right. And they played a role in certain traumas that, and I'm not trying to side with women. I'm just trying to have a level playing field here. There are things in society, in music, in movies, in marketing, in job opportunities, in equal pay that weren't happening. And if that was happening to you, there's a certain part about your personality that just might change, because you're like, this ain't right and it's not fair. And if nobody's going to look out for me, I got to learn to look out for myself. And that may turn into a toxic behavior. I've done that, where I had to go back and check myself, but it doesn't excuse the people who played a role in provoking that, even though it's not their responsibility to fix it. Like you're saying, it's still mine. I shouldn't abandon my identity, but at some point, a little bit of compassion might be helpful for men and women to come together and really make this better. Because like you said, it's jacked up, but that doesn't mean it can't be fixed, but it will take a little bit more empathy and compassion in a conversation.
I understand that sometimes you have that compassion and you have that empathy, but sometimes you're just so inbred with this whole mindset of forget it because this happened, that even when people are trying to show you compassion, even when people are trying to be empathetic towards you and trying to say, hey, no, we're not all like that, we're not all like that, you still don't want to see that, because now, you know what I'm saying, you either ran with your experiences so far or you ran with what society's saying. You let 5 women who you know that you respect say something that sounds good like that, that's going to be degrading. Well, since you respect them, now all of a sudden your whole mindset is changing, and you're not even who you used to be. You don't even used to think anymore, because now the people that you quote unquote respect is saying something and it sounds good based on either their experience or maybe your experience, but just that experience don't equal out to everything, to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just like how we always talk about, bro, you only need one.
That's true.
Need one. So I don't give a damn if I did a survey of 10,000 women and all of them was full of shit, and then I got to 10,001. I found that one good one. That's all I need, is just that one. And I can't say because these 10,000 women that I surveyed, all of them was full of shit. I can't say all women is full of shit now. It just so happened the women that I surveyed were full of shit.
Okay.
I think the cool thing about that is when we do find women that we feel this way and have made up their minds about, oh man, then we move on to the next one. It's nothing that keeps us grounded to this one. Yeah, we may wonder, we may have hoped and wanted this to work, but at the end of the day, we have to go and pursue the one that's going to make us, that's going to that's gonna make us feel like, yeah, this is her. And that might not be this one. That might not be this one. That might, like you said, you may have to get to 10,001 for you to finally find that person. But the cool thing about that is, all while we're looking and all while we're trying to find this one, we're still doing our own self growth. You know what I mean? So when we finally do find her, we done went through so many and learned so much about ourselves that when we finally do find her, we own. We don't got to wait. We don't got to try to wonder. We don't got to try to work on ourselves. We don't got to try to do X, Y, Z, because this is the things, this is the work we've been putting in this whole time while I've been looking for that one.
I think I like what you're saying, Mike. And just to add to it, I think that part of my perspective comes from the place of really trying to change the narrative as a man, because I am a man, and really trying to set a different norm. Because there are certain things that, you know, are said by men that I don't agree with. But if I don't say nothing, it seems like I'm condoning it. And so I'm not saying it to side with women, but I am saying it to maybe see where that behavior might have stemmed from, to abandon, like I said, abandon traditional values. Somebody else said that they're not abandoning them. That maybe they're just keeping them safe. They're just, somebody said, I'll find it and I'll put it up. But she said, go ahead, Mike.
While you're looking for it, it's really just a catch-22. Like Dub said, women are being told one thing, men are being told one thing, and everybody's falling for the bullshit. I just think it's just like a vicious cycle, and it's honestly, it's no person that you can really blame for it. We don't know who the first man was that cheated, and we don't know who the first woman was that said, I only want you for your money. We don't know who started this whole back and forth thing, but what we do know is we can work on ourselves.
I think it was Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre said, I started this gangster shit, and this is the thanks I get. I think that was.
I think that we can just be more comfortable with creating our own narrative. People are so focused on going on these old statements that may have worked then. That was a different path. That was a different light. That was a different place. And so those things that you may desire may not work now for you or for who you desire. So create your own narrative instead of being so stuck on what everything else has been or it should be. It can be or should be whatever you decide to make it with you and your partner. Like Dub said, you got one person. You made the choice to pick this person, create your own narrative.
Okay. Hayes said if everybody would just go to therapy and heal, it would close the gap.
You know what, man? I'm gonna get back to what I said earlier, man. And I believe people just really need to be honest. And a lot of times, if people will just be honest with themselves and honest with the situation and honest where, oh, well, damn, this is where I got my mindset from. Or well, this is where I start to curve my mindset because I was looking up to this person, or because of this, because of that, because this sound good, because this sound good. If people would just be real honest with themselves and honest with everybody else, a lot of stuff that we go through, it wouldn't be the way it is. Like people won't even be honest with themselves, and it's just like a whole facade that you have to put up. You know what I'm saying? All the while you want me to be perfect, but you still struggling. But you want to show me that this perfect facade, but you want me to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? And you struggling the whole way. Be honest with yourself. I think people, if they just straight up and just say, you know what, this is what I'm dealing with. This is my issue. This is what I need. This is what I desire. Sometimes my needs, just like we said earlier, sometimes the desire and the need don't match up.
Yeah.
I think that, oh, go ahead, Mike.
Real quick, I like what Jay said. She said, Mara Akil always says, love is attainable as long as you define it for yourself. You define what your love looks like. You know what I mean? My love for my woman or my relationship may not look like Donnie's does, may not look like Carrie's does, may not look like Dub's does. That don't mean any of them are wrong.
Yeah, they all come with a different path. I was at church today, and the pastor was talking about he's doing this series on submission. He said he's gonna start with the women because that's how the letter was written, and he's gonna start and talk about the men next. But he said that he was really, I'm not gonna give you the whole sermon, but he was just kind of breaking down the whole submission piece and what it means and how you submit to God and all that kind of stuff. But he said there's a difference between what the Bible calls submission and what your community may call submission. First thing you got to understand is whose submission are you adhering to? And I think for me, when you talk about everybody gets to define their love, you don't define the love and then try to use the Bible as a tool or a pathway to get to the love you've defined. If you want to use the Bible, then you're using what the Bible calls love. If you're going to make up your own definition of love, then you also have to make up your own path to it and proof set it and see if that actually works. For me, when we sit on here and talk about love is patient, love is kind, if everybody's defining for themselves what love is, love may not be patient and kind to them. So that means that you don't really use the Bible's path to attain what it is you want.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
You know what? I like that. I like that. You know why I like that? Because a lot of people who don't know me, they have a perception of me. You know what I'm saying? And they may think certain things. Like I read through the comments sometimes, and people say stuff, and I don't want to go hard. You know what I'm saying? I just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? But people who know me, you know what I'm saying? I can say, yeah, I can get on here. Listen, I can get on here, and I can say fuck these bitches all day long, and I mean every minute of it, every word of it. But that don't mean that I'm gonna treat my woman in a disrespectful fashion. That don't mean I'm gonna treat the women around me in a disrespectful fashion. That don't mean I'm you know what I'm saying, treat any woman specifically in a disrespectful fashion. If I'm just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is how I feel, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And for whoever want to just put me in a category and just say, hey, you're like this, you're like that, you know what I'm saying? Fine, cool. If that's the way you want to think about me, that's the way you want to think about me. But I know who I am. I know how I love, and I know how I love hard. I know how protective I am. I know how I make sure that I take care of, you know what I'm saying, people around me, not just women, how I take care of people around me. So, you know what I'm saying, if anybody got something to say about it and they think I'm a certain way, you know what I'm saying, oh, well, it's like my uncle say, fuck them and feed them fish.
Salmon always goes good with humble pie. What is Amber?
Amber Max said, life is about evolution. Traditional values shouldn't be the aspiration. Here and now and what works today is what should be nurtured.
But then there's those people who are dedicated to being the preservers of certain values. Yeah. Because if not, then again, everybody's going to be choosing whatever they want, which is what we're doing today. And we're trying to find nowadays, what is a man? Or whoever chooses to be one. What's your pronoun? Whatever I choose it to be. You know what I'm saying? What is marriage? Whatever I choose it to be. And so without certain values being preserved, then you do get to where everybody chooses their own thing. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but understand, like we said in the beginning of the show, if that's your choice, understand the consequence that comes with it. If you're not going to choose the definition that the Bible provides as love, then don't be surprised when the path the Bible is telling you to go down doesn't equal out to what you've defined love to be. Mm-hmm. It's the way it works with the word of God is that it's a double-edged sword. And so it's going to cut off a lot of the flesh and ego around your definition of love. Mm-hmm. That's why it's defined for us. Because if it was tailored to what we want, we don't grow in that. We don't develop in that. We don't fulfill purpose in that. That's us trying to get healing or find some kind of fulfillment in the area that we won't heal. I'm done with that. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Yeah.
And he did.
You know what? Since we got all four brothers on the show tonight, this might be good to stir the pot.
Men who grow up with single mothers who they see struggling will subconsciously grow up to reject men and overcompensate by taking care of broken women and neglecting their own needs. He is subconsciously trying to fix women in the way he feels his father failed his mother. Instead, he ends up attracting women who are highly codependent with an inability to love him back in the way he gives or needs.
I'll do it again.
Men who grow up with single mothers who they see struggling will subconsciously grow up to reject men and overcompensate by taking care of broken women and neglecting their own needs. He is subconsciously trying to fix women in the way he feels his father failed his mother. Instead, he ends up attracting women who are highly codependent with an inability to love him back in the way he gives or needs.
I saved and posted this video because it resonates with me. So before I share, I'm gonna hear what you guys have to say about it.
It's weird because it resonates with me too, but growing up I had both parents in my household, so I can't necessarily say that because men don't grow up what did she say, without their fathers in the home?
Yeah, single mother home.
Single mother homes, that's why certain men do those kind of things, because I used to be the fixer and picking women that I'm pouring everything into and not getting anything in return. So I will have to disagree on that aspect for me. I think that
I kind of have to.
Go ahead, see.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I kind of have to agree because I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I mean, although, the first 5 years it was me and mom, after that, dad was there, but there was still, separation and the difference in things. So, I mean, I don't think it's my place for this answer because I feel like it does like this for me.
Okay.
Back and forth.
You also had the opportunity to speak on behalf of people that who grew up in like a single mother home. Now, for me, well, Dub, did you want to chime in on this before?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I'll say this. For me, the reason I put the video up because I could relate. For a long time, I thought it was my responsibility to be the man that every fatherless child needed. That means men and women. I thought it was my responsibility to be the man to fill the gap in for whoever didn't have a father or a healthy husband. I took it upon myself to change the entire narrative for every woman, especially that I would meet, about what a man was and who he was. And when I tell you that weight was massive and that was a self-calling, which is why I failed at it repeatedly, I did continue to choose women who I didn't understand until much later, never had the capacity or sometimes a willingness to love me back in that way, because the whole intention behind what I was doing was rooted in my own hurt. And so I think that for me, this video did highlight something that I did overcome, but I think the highlight that it gave me continues to help me to continue to work on it. Because as I find myself in vulnerable places, like I was telling my therapist right now, dealing with the fact that my cousin has passed away, whenever I deal with grief, I start to desire very heavily intimacy, but like relationship and wife type intimacy. And so I told my therapist, I feel it and it's strong, and I won't let myself be around women because I don't want to mislead or lead somebody on, because I know where my heart and my head is. So I'm trying to ask God to give me comfort some other kind of way, because the avenue my flesh wants to go down would result in this video again. Me, falling short because I'm setting ill intentions with another woman and I don't want to be a part of the problem. So I just say all that just to give you guys my 2 cents about how that video resonated with me. And man, if any other fella out there who feels like he's grew up in a single mother home and found himself doing these same things, it's not your responsibility. That's all.
I would say this, growing up in a single mother home with no father around like that, I think there is some validity to it. I think my situation was a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up in a touchy, loving family, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like very nurturing and stuff like that. So, I had a disconnect. And my thing was, I just always like to make sure people are good, period. You know what I mean? And not necessarily just women and trying to save women like this. My whole thing was growing up the way I grew up and not having certain things. I know what it feels like not to have. So I know what it feels like for kids not to have. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to, have picture day, but don't want to go ask my mama for some money for picture day because I know she ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So I go and I don't take pictures. You know what I mean? Or need something, you know what I'm saying? So now I have to go in the neighborhood and hustle for it because I don't want to ask because I know she really ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? Or in the love wasn't like some affectionate, oh, that's my son, that's my baby, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? We this is how we came up. This is how we are. So it is what it is. Life is life. You just got to keep on pushing through, do whatever. So I think my mindset on things is I just like to help people, period. It's not necessarily a Captain Save a Whole type mentality. You know what I'm saying? Just attaching myself to victimized women. It's more of I just like to make sure everybody is good. Period. You know what I'm saying? Men, women, kids. I just want to make sure everybody's good because I know what it feels like not to have. So I just want everybody to be good.
Good. All right. All right. That was a good discussion. I appreciate the fellas who kind of just bowed out to that one. Like, hey, not my exact situation, but still gave some wisdom. And we'll move on to the next one. Let's see if anybody got any comments, anything to say. Yeah, I think Portia said I think that mentality is for men who have more of a compassionate spirit, not an umbrella mentality, though. Vicky definitely said Captain Hilichik. Amber McJellen said me too, but in a mommy way. I have way too many godchildren and moms that I mentor. I carry a lot for my community, and honestly, I'm tired, but I'll do whatever God has for me. Grateful. Never walk alone. Amber said, I just want to say not all single women with children are broken. Amen to that. And Portia says some light workers attract hurt people because they have the ability to help get through their particular situation. That is very true. That is, yeah, some people don't even know they're light workers. That's real good. All right, fellas, y'all ready for the next one?
Let's go.
All right, I think Mike kind of said something about this earlier, so I think it was Mike. So let's chime in.
You have to ask yourself, do I really want to deal with what I want? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, specifically in relationships, people are saying, I want this type of person. But you're not thinking about what comes with this type of person, what you're going to have to deal with. For example, let's just say a woman who wants a really successful man. But do you want to deal with the fact that he's busy? Mm-hmm. Do you want to deal with the fact that he's not going to be sometimes as emotionally available as you would like him to be? The price you have to pay being with him and the standard he's going to put on your life, do you want to deal with that? It's almost like if I want to buy a Bentley, everybody wants a nice car. But do you want to deal with the maintenance? Mm-hmm. Do you want to deal with the attention you're going to get driving in this car? Do you want to deal with that monthly payment? Right. Maybe you will find your happiness in a nice Corolla.
Maybe you will find your happiness in a nice Corolla. Sport. I like this video. And the most important part of this video, I think, is he said that, are you ready to accept the standard he's going to call you to? I say this quote all the time, and it always usually gives people a chance to think. And the quote is, if today you met your dream come true, why would your dream come true want you? That's all I got, fellas. On you.
That really made me think back about how, we had this conversation before. Like, sometimes we think we are greater than we are. Mm-hmm. And when you just now said, you made your dream come true. You say your dream come true and want you. Like, sometimes we think that we are greater than we are. We never take time to look in the mirror and check ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And just have this attitude like, oh, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got a little mold on you right now. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to check that. You got a little mold on you. You know what I'm saying? So your sliced bread ain't the best right now. But if we don't ever take the time to look at ourselves and make sure that we are prepared to give our dream person something worth them wanting, then it's like you gonna miss your opportunity.
I'm ready to accept that my happiness may be in a Corolla. I think that oftentimes I've wanted a Bentley because everybody said, yo, that's the status item. Like, this is the kind of chick that you need. This is the quality of chick. This is what she needs to look like on paper and in person. And the whole time I'm looking like, but I like the short one with a gap tooth and a pot belly. If my happiness is going to be found in a Corolla, I think that then we should continue to, affirm people to choose what's going to make them happy.
Mm-hmm. So I don't want people to think that you're saying to lower your standards, though. Mm-hmm. That's something different.
No, not at all. That's why I keep saying that's where my happiness is going to be found. Yeah. There's no happiness to be found in lowering your standards. Yeah. And you can actually go for what's trending and still be lowering your standards.
Lowering your God. Just because you look good doesn't mean you're a good look.
Say it again, brother.
Just because you look good doesn't mean you're a good look. Period.
Yeah.
We got some comments coming through. One of them says, the desire for who you want requires reflection of how you have to show up to get them. And I will add to that, to keep them, to grow them.
Yeah.
Because remember, the role of a woman in spirit is to multiply things. And so it's not to catch, but it's to multiply. So do you know how to get, keep, and grow that man?
Yeah.
That's all I'm putting out there. I'm gonna add that to it. But yeah, Portia said, my dream come true would want me because of the work I put into myself to become the best version of myself. I've learned to genuinely love myself where I am, radically accept what is, and find peace and happiness in that. Hold on, let me see what she did again. This is like a resume. I've learned to genuinely love myself where I am, radically accept what is, find peace and Portia. Put your number in the chat. Listen, I saw a quick resume. I said, "Well, that's what I've been looking for."
Right.
No, but
taking off right. My nigga.
Swipe right. Look, there's a screenshot. No, but I think that's good though. That goes back to even what DTF said. I love this video. It still comes down to communication. A busy entrepreneur. I think that kind of like even what DTF is saying or what Portia is saying, when you've done the work, the self-work that Mike and Carrie always talk about, even that busyness shifts a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'm not doing all the stuff I used to do because of you, but when a person has done that self-work, it's the quality of it's the quality of self that they do life with that's attractive to you and you want to be around it. It's different when a man is trying to make time for you. Like, God, I know I got a lot going on, but I know you need this. You need time with me. Versus a man is like, yo, what you've done with yourself, I need time with that. It's a difference when he needs time with you versus he trying to make time because you need time with him. And I think that's where that self-work comes into play. When you find yourself around people or connect to someone like who's usually busy with everybody else, but when it comes to you, they're not really as busy as there are other people because they see something in you that they want to be around. They highly value and they prioritize it.
That's true. I agree with that.
Nadia Darton, ain't seen you in a minute. I came with a lot of emotional baggage, but my partner and I grew together. We both worked with and for one another, but not all would have been willing. Nadia, come back in here and tell us what, if you are willing to share with us, what made in the beginning, what made you guys say, hey, this is going to be worth it? What was the vision or what was it that made you say, you know what? I know most people wouldn't be willing in this situation, but we're going to try this. Go ahead, Mike.
For me, because that's kind of like how my relationship started. Just, I was dogged on, I don't want no relationship. I don't want no girlfriend. We can go out. We can go on dates. We can have fun, but that's where it's going to stop. And the fact that, you know what I mean? For me, it was the fact that she stayed, the fact that she saw certain things and still stayed, the fact that I'm telling her like, I don't want to be in a relationship, and you still stayed. It didn't stay and try to make me be in a relationship, but just stayed, just was there. You know what I mean? If I needed to call,
that's where she wanted to be.
Right. And to me, it was like, okay, this is worth it. You know what I mean? We had our ups and downs and times where, you know what I mean, I didn't make the best decisions. You know what I mean? And you still stayed. And then I didn't make the best decisions and you still stayed. So, it comes to a head where it's like, this is it.
You know what that makes me think of, Mike?
What?
When you said that, it makes me think of like multiple situations, but especially Adam and Eve. When God made Adam in the garden, he put him to sleep and he woke up and Eve was there. It's like, it's something interesting about a woman who will be there until you wake up.
It's just like, it reminds me of, and a lot of people think this is crazy and these women are crazy for doing this, but it reminds me when, a guy, he's very wealthy, maybe from selling drugs. He goes to jail for 10 years and the woman stays with him. She's faithful to him. He gets out, all his money is still there. These are the chicks that guys is like, man, you a keeper. You a keeper. I'm going to give you the world because the only thing you did was stay. When everybody else ran, when you showed them a glimpse behind the mask and everybody got scared and ran away, you stayed. You getting everything. You getting the world at that point.
I think we should definitely use our platform and different opportunities to make sure we highlight those women, because I think that is a trait that is enormously valuable.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. I'm even trying to just put in the words right now, but for a lot of reasons, I think that's an incredible thing. Like you said, Mike, she just stayed because that's where she found she wanted to be and wanted to invest. And so much of it means that it wasn't built on reciprocation. It was like, yo, go ahead, Carrie. I see you.
No, it's ultimately it's your growth. It's the concern of your growth that's so selfless in that. And that's the part that when we talk about highlighting those things from those type of women, those are the things that stick out most for me, because your care is not that you're negating self, but you care that much for me, where you want me to be better.
I think
regardless of if it looks like it benefits for you, because again, you're in your own narrative of it. Because I'm pretty sure you got homegirls that's like, nah, that's not. I wouldn't. That ain't how my mama. That ain't how we did it. That ain't. You created your own narrative for the growth of this man or this person. That's a lot.
I think Dub said it in a few episodes ago. He said sometimes you meet a person who is only there to really show you who you are. Like, and that is something that we need to continue to highlight and help people understand. Like, if that is how you walk in relationship, that is incredibly valuable. Of course, don't let nobody manipulate and all that kind of stuff, but don't feel bad for being that type of man or being that type of woman. Because if your commitment is not to what can I get from this person, but I love this person and I see this person in a very divine way, and I'm gonna stay here until God tells me to leave. And while I'm here, I want to help this person see themselves. Because sometimes, like, you don't know what you don't know is what Errol always tells me. And sometimes you don't see certain things about yourself because life has put so much, dirt and mud on you. But sometimes somebody can see through that and say, I know that's not you, and I'm not gonna try to change you, but I'm gonna love it off you. And I'm just gonna be here and not gonna really ask for a lot, but
that's a different love.
Sickening, man. I love it.
I think the greatest thing for me is when you see something like that and you experience that and you acknowledge it and you appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And even with that acknowledgement of like,
marry it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I see what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I see exactly what you did, and I see this and I see that, and you know what I'm saying? And I think like the biggest thing for me, can't say for anybody else, but the biggest thing for me is when I see something and I can verbally let somebody know that, like, look, I see what you're doing and I appreciate it. Like, for me saying that's huge. Not to say that I'm not, you know what I'm saying, appreciative of, you know what I'm saying, other things like that. But when somebody sticks in there when they didn't have to, when they doing, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of stuff that they don't have to do, you know what I'm saying? When somebody sees you for who you are without having to, you know what I'm saying, a manicure who you are at all times, you know what I'm saying, where everything doesn't always have to be perfect and always have to be, oh, you're a man, you're supposed to be like this, and you can't say fuck these bitches, but when you do say it, it's like, hell yeah, fuck these bitches. You know what I'm saying? And that's her response to you. It's like, yes, she gets it. You know what I'm saying? She's not taking offense to it. She's not taking offense that when I talk like a certain way, you know what I'm saying, is not, you know what I'm saying, she not down to, oh, you can't talk like this and you can't be like this. You're the reason why I'm talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of you telling me I can't be this certain way. You know what I'm saying? But when I am talking like that, it could be, you know what I'm saying, she right along with you, hell yeah, fuck these bitches. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that is just, it's appreciated because it's like, I can give you the world and I can still be who I am. You know what I'm saying? I can give you everything, and I can be soft and I can be tender and I can be like this, you know what I'm saying, towards you. But everybody else is not going to see that side of me. You know what I'm saying? Because only you are unlocking that side. Everybody else don't need to see that side. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else don't get that side and they don't deserve that side. They don't get it. So go ahead, bro.
My bad. No, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, so when you do get that, you know what I'm saying? For me, I make sure I verbalize it and just say, hey, look, I see it and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that she may even want the desire. She may even have the same desires as other people for this particular thing to change, but she authentically loves you for who you are, even if that change doesn't happen in her desired time, or even if there isn't a desire. If that change doesn't happen, she still loves you regardless. That's a, again, man, that's a different kind of love. That's an altering love.
Come on,
That will
man.
alter you
Yeah.
to a point where it makes you want to be better, makes you want to be different. That's a man, man. But it doesn't always come in the form of your woman.
I was just about to comment on that, bro. I was about to comment on that. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
If I'm honest, each of these men on here have an altering love for me because it's specifically designed based on the relationship that I have with them, that each of them individually help me become something different in different sections. Altering love doesn't always look like what we want it to look like. And
Like the
sometimes
Notebook.
we feel this love without even knowing actually what it is, because
Mm-hmm.
we are different when we're around this person. We are
Mm-hmm.
different. We think about things different when we're around this person, or we even if we can't, we want to. The
Mm-hmm.
desire is there. The effort to be something different is altering. All right, I'm done.
No, I got you. I made a comment earlier and I said that when that's that kind of person that you see, I said you marry that person. That's not always correct though. Portia said, but does this dream person align with God's will for your life? Listening to what the Holy Spirit says and praying that our desires align with his will yield the most fruitful results. Life is too short to live on the surface. Love must be watered. And so that kind of ties into what Carrie just said. That person may not be in your life for matrimony, but it doesn't mean that that love that they're trying to give you isn't divine in its source. And again, that it didn't come for an altering, because a lot of times we do. Oh man, we do not want certain things to change. Well, my cousin, he knew God and prayed and knew scripture, but he always would tell me, I don't want God to change me, which is what affected his willingness to submit to certain calls on his life. And it just made me think while Dub was talking and Carrie was talking that a lot of times it's not the person trying to change us because they want to change us, but because they have a clear word from God that this about that person needs to change. And I'm sending you not to enforce that change, but to love them and call it out. And a lot of times it requires us to put our ego aside and not think that everybody that tries to change us is trying to hurt us. Sometimes, like Carrie said, that altering that they've come to do, yeah, we may not like their approach, but sometimes that altering that they come to do is so necessary to your destiny. But if you are hell bent on just being who you want to be versus the fullness of who God calls you to be, then again, that's a choice that yields a consequence that you may not want to live with.
You know, I'll say this before we go on that. I definitely agree to what you're saying as far as some things needs to change. On the other side of that coin, I also believe God made our personalities for a reason. I believe, and I always say this. I believe that our personalities are for our purpose, and this is something that I believe. Right, my personality is for my purpose. Doesn't mean that things can't change and things can't grow and develop. You know what I'm saying, within me. But I wholeheartedly believe that my personality is for my purpose. Sometimes that change is, God trying to change you, and sometimes it's people trying to change you because they want you to conform to what they want to be. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. It's one of those things to where, for me, I have to look at it and pray for discernment in that
Yeah.
specific. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, is this you telling me that I need to change? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or is it this person just want me to change because they just want me to fit their narrative?
As long as I think as long as you're walking in that kind of humility, that's what could actually help.
Right.
Shoot, I had a point to make, but I need to handle this real quick, fellas. Go ahead, knock that out for me while I fix this issue.
Yeah. So I don't know. I it's one of those things, man, where it's so important to stay open to God's voice. You know what I'm saying? And stay open to listening to what it is that He's trying to say to you, because sometimes people can say things that sound good and make you think or make you feel, oh, God's telling me this or this. Nah, God ain't saying that. You saying that. You want me to change. And sometimes God is really trying to get your attention. He's like, no, I'm sending this person or I'm doing this because this needs to change, because I'm trying to take you to a new level. And in that new level, this can't stay.
What I was going to add was that the Bible says what God puts together, let no man put asunder, right? Because that's what God put together. It's always good to investigate if who we believe we are is who we truly are. And so, like you said, Dub, there is that other side of the coin where this is my personality, this is who I am, is for my purpose. It's always good to go to God and say, is this actually my personality? Or like Mike told us in last season, or is this the armor that I've put on and it's been on me so long that I believe it's who I am?
That's good stuff.
You done been undercover so long, you done forgot what side of the law you on.
Come on, in too deep.
Listen, don't talk to me like that, sir.
Wow.
First of all,
ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're gonna end the show tonight.
Yep.
That's it. You know, Dub was the first to leave. Oh, brother, Mike, I got your back, bro. I know you made a mistake. Just don't do it again. Brother, who was that? Carrie took me off.
Yeah, sure was. Sure was.
I knew somebody was going through. That's why I was out.
I was trying to show that brother some compassion. He was like, "Listen." Oh man! All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we like to do at the end of every show. We like to give you guys a resource. What we're doing, instead of the number 1-800-854-7771, we have a new number for you. The Suicide and Crisis Hotline has changed. Pound 988. Pound 988. Listen, if you need to get connected to a social worker, a support group, a therapist, counselor, psychiatrist, or just some practical groups you can go to help you with just life skills, or if you're contemplating suicide, pound 988. I think that it's a number that we need to have close to our hearts and close to our hand to even give resources to other people. We talked about it on previous episodes about SAD, seasonal effectiveness disorder. Some people struggle during this time of year. Could be the family things in the holidays, could be the weather. But people, we go through stuff, and it's good to have a resource handy to help us to go through some of these darker days and these stormier nights. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help. We talk about it on the show. A couple of us go to an actual therapist. Others of us, we have therapeutic activities that we do to help us with our mental health. On this show, we believe that your best life, the one you want to live, stems from your best decisions, and your best decisions stem from your best mental health. And so that's just something we want to give at the end of every show. Please screenshot this, keep it close, especially during the season, because someone may text you that they're going through something, and your response might be, listen, can I call this number with you? Before, and I think it's great to know when you're in over your head, when someone is dealing with something that, like if my brother's an electrician, you know, if I see some loose wires and the light won't come on, there's only so much I'm going to do before I stop to recognize that I could make this worse. It might take a professional, someone who's trained and understand these wirings. And so I would say, as much as we love people and we want to give them our input and our advice, sometimes it is best to maybe accompany them to someone that might be a little more qualified, or maybe have a little bit in qualifications is a very loose word, but might be able to help in a way that you're not suited to. Let me just say it that way. It's nothing wrong with just, you know, you don't have to be that person's savior in that moment. You can actually just be their partner. And so again, hopefully I take that number down. And if you are in need of it, or you know someone in need of it, man, be quick to hand it out because this time of year is tough for a lot of people. Fellas, anything y'all want to add?
Just real quick before we leave out.
Oh, are you talking about this mental health?
No, but
okay. Let me add this real quick then before you do that. Portia said, my client, who's a therapist, is starting a group for seasonal blues. Only a few spots left. I'll send y'all the info. Please, Portia, if you can send it and also put it in the chat. We truly appreciate that. If there are not enough spots for that person or the people to get in, other people to get in, maybe another therapist is watching this and they can maybe try to duplicate that to accommodate more people. So we thank you for that. Go ahead, Mike.
If you guys missed the halftime spot, coming up on December 11th, we'll be having our live Maybe This Will Help episode this week. We'll be posting the details on our Facebook as well as IG page. It's a free event, 5 to 8, I believe, are the times. And so what? No?
We told them 6 to 8, but yes, 5 to 8, yeah.
Well, it was 6 to 8 for the show, and then 5 starts the mixer. So I just said 5 to 8. But you can always do this if you want. You know what? Let me help.
This is Errol's favorite part.
He'd be out of there. No, but just stay tuned this week on our socials to see the updates. And yeah.
Listen, like for real, stay tuned. We're going to post it on our Facebook page and our Maybe This Will Help Facebook. Maybe This will help Instagram. We're going to post it. The first 24 people, that's who get in.
Yep.
So every day be chiming in because we don't even know when we're going to drop the information yet. So and if we did, we wouldn't tell you anyway.
I feel like we'd be too transparent sometimes. We don't even know what we're doing, but
we might be there. We might not. Oh man. All right, fellas. Anything else? Dub, you got some wisdom to leave us with? You want to throw your hat on and give us some wise words?
Why would you do that? Why would you say that?
Because he be coming with it, man. His birthday's coming up. Mike's birthday coming up. Errol's birthday coming up. We about to celebrate, man.
Hey. Wise words for the day. I ain't got nothing for you right now.
Never trust a big butt and a smile.
Let's take some calls from the request line.
Come on, Dub. What you got for us? Wait, did Kerry say never trust a big butt and a smile? That advice is never going to get old.
Never.
I want to challenge that. I want to challenge. I want to challenge my own statement. I'm ready to trust. I'm ready to trust. My goodness. I'm ready to trust.
DVD was definitely wrong. You can definitely trust a big butt and a smile sometimes. Yes. Yes.
Well, I must warn you. Which one of you good fellas is praying us out tonight?
Yeah.
I like the way it looks. Yeah, I knew Mike had it. I knew it. Come on, Samson. Let's go.
Father God, once again, we praise you and we thank you for giving us a good show, giving us the words to say, to speak to the people. Hopefully somebody was reached, somebody heard the message and received something out of it today, Lord. We just thank you that we know that this season it gets hard for a lot of people dealing with, family members being lost, dealing with, feeling alone. And we thank you that you'll reach out to them and just hug them, Lord. Let them know that they're worthy, they're worth something, they're not alone if they know you, Lord. And we just thank you and praise you for everything that you're going to do for us, through us, and with us this coming week. We thank you for your protective angels that they'll surround us and they'll keep us strong, they'll keep us safe and ready for any obstacles that may come this way, that may come our way this week, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Wow. Go ahead then. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. Kerry, you want to give us our outro, bro?
Thank you for coming out. God bless. 2 chains.
2.